What it do, Niner fam? Now, okay, we played the Jaguars. Everybody know we played the Jaguars. Now, I did some research on the Jaguar games. I think we played them 7 or 8 times. I'm not sure. I got to look at it again. We played the first game. We played them. This is back in the days. Back in the days. Steve Young was the quarterback. They gave us a beating. I watched it. It's hard to watch, man. It's hard to watch. It's hard to watch, brother. They gave us the beating they put on Steve Young. It was bad. 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 Okay. And then we said, okay, we was done with the Steve Young era, and come Jeff Garcia. They put a beating on Jeff Garcia. Oh, man, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. You got to see, the thing is about the Jaguars when they first came out, remember that was an expansion team. They had like unlimited money, so they was able to get a bunch of free agents, and they got the first round pick, and they had all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, of course, when they first came out, they was hitters, but, man, they gave us some beatings. But then as I watched, the beatings we gave the Jaguars. Hold on. I'm gonna show you. Hold on one second. Look at this. All right, now these are the games we played the Jaguars. You see, you have the winners in this column right here. Now, the first game was September 12th, 1999. Look at that. That's Steve Young, 41-3. That's Steve Young right there. I ain't gonna let that's Steve Young. 41-3, man. And like I said, watch that game. Ooh, it's hard to watch. Then we played him again in 2005. Okay, that's Garcia. That's your boy Garcia. Man, that's your boy Garcia. Then that was the end of their little winning ways. That was the end. That was the end of their winning ways. That was it. They were done. They were done. I like to look at the beatings. Now we got them 20-3, 42-10, 44-33. Now, when you look at that November 21st, 2021, that 30-10, that's Garoppolo. If anybody remember, I think that's Garoppolo. Remember when Garoppolo first started? We brought Garoppolo in. I think we got him for like a second round pick. He was with the Patriots, and he was going to be a free agent. And remember, Brady wanted to get rid of him. Brady was like, hell no, this fool's, he got me on the hot seat. And Belichick liked Garoppolo. He was like, oh no, I got a way to get rid of Brady, and I got his replacement. But Brady was like, nah, I'm gonna go over his head and go to the owner, and made the owner get rid of Garoppolo. So they bring in, they go get, they call the Niners, which is Lynch, and say, hey man, give us something for dude. I think it was a second round pick. And look, and in that convo, Lynch will tell you, they got a whole video. Lynch said, what about Brady? We can give you a couple first round picks for Brady. They laughed. They laughed at him. They laughed at Lynch and basically hung up the phone and said, you second round pick, come get Garoppolo. So Garoppolo goes, the season was already over. We had like 5 games left in the season. We were starting Brian Hoyer. Like I said, we called that night. That next day, Garoppolo was on the plane. He was suited up, but he wasn't really playing, just sitting on the sideline. Chilling. We getting shellacked. Well, we ain't getting shellacked. We getting beat by the Jaguars. Now, Brian Hoyer gets knocked out the game. He gets a concussion. I'm not sure if Nick Mullins played or not, but I think that either Nick Mullins got injured, but I know Brian Hoyer got injured. And the backup was Jimmy Garoppolo, which he hadn't looked at the playbook. He just got there, got off the plane the day before, suited up just to stand there. He was just going to stand there and just watch the game. We only have 5 games left in the season. So the season was done. Garoppolo got in there. Now, that's when we had Marquise Goodwin. Garoppolo went in, he just started playing backyard football. This is where Garoppolo kind of, he had us fooled. He playing backyard football. Boom, boom. He hitting everything. Everything. We tore the Jaguars up. That's when Jalen Ramsey then was on their way to going to the AFC Championship. And they was balling. They was balling. I think they was undefeated at that time. And then that was their first loss. I think so. Because they on their sideline over there, they was fighting because they couldn't contain nobody. And we went from Brian Hoyer to Jimmy Garoppolo, and they like, what the hell just happened? The Jaguars defense was shook. That's like I said, that's where Jimmy Garoppolo kind of had us fooled, because we like, oh, this fool balling. And from that game on, like I said, he came in on that game, I think halftime or second quarter, and he won all 5 games for the ending of that season. And so he was a free agent at the end of the season. So since he was a free agent, he was like, hey, I'm finna walk and I'm going to go somewhere and get money anyway. So Shanahan said, well, just wait and we'll see, what we can work on. Jimmy Garoppolo was like, hey, man, I'm finna be up out of here. Shanahan was like, man, I'm trying to get Kirk Cousins. He already know my offense. Everything's good. Jimmy Garoppolo's like, man. But the Niner fan base like, man, keep him, man. Keep him, man. We got to keep him and blah, 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 blah. All right, we keep Garoppolo. We give him he was one of the highest paid quarterbacks off of 5 games. Kirk Cousins says, well, if I ain't going to the Niners, I'll go to Minnesota. We keep Garoppolo. We like, oh, we got Garoppolo. You feel me? We got Garoppolo. The next season, the second game, the second game, he got injured. That's crazy. Jimmy Garoppolo getting injured. Who would have thought that would have been his career? Who think Jimmy Garoppolo getting injured? I remember when he was with the Patriots, he played a couple of games, he got injured. And then he came to us and got injured. And he's been injured every year, and he just stays injured. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo was born injured. Anyway, 30-10. Now, you install Purdy. But the defense, look at the defense. They scored 3 points. The Jaguars, that's Eric Armstead. That's Nick Bosa. That's Chase Young. That's Fred Warner. You know what I'm saying? That's Dre Greenlaw. I'm just saying he ain't with us no more. So that defense was locked down. They couldn't do nothing. We played at their home. They couldn't do nothing. So I was good with that. But like I said, when I looked at the tenure of us playing them, the first 2 times they got us, especially that first one. Remember, they had, and that's the thing I said, they had a first bunch of free agents and first round pick. They was an expansion team. Saying the Jaguars, come on. Saying anyway, let me know what y'all think about this, man, about the whole Jaguars Niners. If you saw the game of the Jaguars playing the Niners and Steve Young getting belt put to ass, that's a whole nother story. Let me know what y'all think, man. Leave it in the comments. I want to hear what y'all talking about. Like, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Peace. I'm out of here.